What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to say, if you're a fan of those legends of the game, I'm talking, players from the 60s through the early 2000s, then this is definitely the channel for you, because that's literally all I do. And so if that's something that you're interested in, or maybe if you're someone that's younger and you may not have seen some of these guys play, or may not have even heard of some of these guys, then this is definitely the channel for you, because that's all I do. So I'd recommend subscribing to the channel. Also, guys, if this is content that you enjoy, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would posterize that like button. That would help me out a great deal. And with that being said, guys, let's get into today's video, right? So, guys, listen, when I think about, players that are often forgotten, that were really, really good, right? I mean, I think this is another guy that I think about often, Bob McAdoo. And the reason why, he was, I feel like he's forgotten is because, well, I mean, he played during, Kareem's time, I mean, his entire career, was, during, Kareem's reign in the NBA. And they both, played the same position mostly. I mean, I know there was some stints where McAdoo played power forward, but he played center, guys. He played center too. So it's just unfortunate, guys, because I think there was like 3 or 4 seasons I think it was in the 70s, where he was scoring like in the 30s, and I think at one point it was up to like 34 points per game, which was really, really good, guys. I mean, it was just, he was a really good scorer. And it's unfortunate that, players like this are forgotten, but that's, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I do this channel, guys, is I, try to, make builds on some players that, have been forgotten. And, it's not necessarily always going to be players that I necessarily watch play, but it's players that I know of, because of me watching highlights and things of different players throughout different eras and things like that. And it's just with Bob McAdoo, I've been thinking about doing this build for a little while. Actually, since I did the Moses build, I've kind of been thinking about doing this because I felt like he was just another center that just has been forgotten because of Kareem, right? And, I really thought, well, what's a good way to do a McAdoo build, right? Because, the thing is, from the highlights that I've seen of Bob McAdoo, and if you're someone that, you were from that era and you watched him live, you could let me know if it was different. But the highlights that I really watched of him, guys, he had this really nice jumper, and he wasn't a big man that played on the block very often. He really liked to take advantage of his jump shot, right? So, I wanted to incorporate that. He was also a really, really good rebounder. And early on in his career, he was also a pretty good shot blocker too. So I wanted to incorporate, those 2 things, or those 3 things, I should say, into this build. So, I mean, looking at, you've got a couple of things that you can look at here. But I really felt like the mostly green, with a little bit of, with a little bit less defense was the way to go for this build, right? And I just feel like his jumper was that good. He just, because it looked like it was a really, really nice jumper. So it was real smooth with it. And I mean, with this, guys, look, we're only going to focus on the close shot and the standing dunk. You could put post hook on there if you want. That's going to get you 10 finishing badges. That's really the main reason why I'm doing it, is because while we're not going to be a heavy finisher, we want to have those finishing badges. Now for this, guys, I'm just going to, I want to max out everything here because we just want to get as many of those shooting badges as possible. Our interior defense is going to be maxed. And then our defensive rebounding is going to be maxed with our offensive rebounding. And then our block. And then our lateral quickness. And that leaves us with 4 guys. I mean, you could put it wherever you want essentially. But let's look at our badge layout, okay? So you've got 10 finishing, 23 shooting, 1 playmaking, and 22 defensive and rebounding badges. So, I really feel like that's this is a good way to go, right? Now for this build, guys, I would go defined because you are going to be bringing the weight and the height down. And it was 210 was his listed weight. And here, guys, you can go ahead and max out that wingspan to just kind of help out your defense and things a little bit. So let's look at this, okay, guys? So we're going to have a close shot once we max this build out of 89. You'll have a standing dunk of 88 with the post hook of 77. So that's all really, really good. You're going to be able to finish around the basket really, really well. But guys, this is what makes this build what I feel like very overpowered, okay? And like I said, I'm someone that I love playing with center builds, right? And this is primarily what I do. But this right here, guys, I really feel like it just makes it so overpowered. Because look, you have a mid-range shot of 81 with a 3-point shot of 79. Okay, guys, in 2K22, that is more than enough to to be able to knock down shots. So with that, you're going to do very well. You're also going to have a free throw of 92 and a post fade of 85. So now, guys, again, if you want to take like that free throw down and you want to put that on your driving dunk and layup or on your playmaking, you can certainly do so. Like I said, I put it there to get those shooting badges. So your playmaking, we really didn't touch that, so it's not really a big deal. You have an interior defense, guys, of 77, which you'll be able to hold your own. Lateral quickness, guys, of 74, which for a center, that's really, really good. You'll have a block of 97, an offensive rebounding of 87, and a defensive rebounding of 95. So you'll be able to get blocks and rebounds with this build, guys, really, really well. So yeah, I mean, guys, I've played with this build, and I'm going to show you the badges that I used for it. It is so fun, right? Now, look, you could do either of these, right? But me personally, guys, this is the one that I used, and oh man, it made this build so fun. Like, it was just unreal, right? And I don't really understand that first the shades of that you get with this. I really don't, because anybody that's watched basketball over the years, and especially watched Ben Wallace, he doesn't have a shot. He just doesn't. He doesn't have a shot at all. So I don't even know why he's here, unless it's just pertaining to the defense and rebounding that this build has, and it just happens to be 6'9" too. I don't know, but yeah, let's get into this, guys, and I'll show you how I did this build, okay? Because I'm telling you, if you like playing stretch builds, guys. And I don't even like playing stretch builds, and I just have so much fun with this build, right? So for your 10 finishing badges, guys, look, I'm basically using the ones that I feel like I just always use them on a center build, okay? Regardless, I always use them. And that's fast twitch, grace under pressure, rise up, and put back boss. I just feel like these are all really, really good and they work well together, especially when you're around the basket. But, if you wanted to do hook specialist or, dream shake, drop stepper, fearless finisher, any of those, you certainly could. It's just on a center build, guys. That's the ones that I really like to, that I like to do, use and go with. So now here's the one, guys. Now this is going to be what really makes this build, stand out from other centers, right? Um, you know, it's just, and these are the ones that I used, right? Um, and then I put Deadeye on gold. Now, if you wanted to, guys, you could, and I actually put this one on the wrong one. But anyway, the way that I got this build, guys, is blinders, catch and shoot, corner specialist, hot zone hunter, and limitless spot up, all on Hall of Fame with Deadeye on gold. Now, if you're someone that you like to use clutch, green machine, fade, slippery off ball, or any of those others, I mean, you certainly could do so. But I feel like, with going through and doing the tests and things that I've done on this build, I really like how these badges played out for it. It may have just been that I was having a good game, but I just felt like with these badge layouts right here, I was doing much better than the other badge layouts that I tried. So for your one playmaking badge, guys, you're going to do break starter, and for your 22 defensive badges, guys, you're going to do rebound chaser, rim protector on gold. You can do post lockdown on gold if you want. You can do I'm going to do intimidator and interceptor on gold, hustler on gold, clamps on gold. I want to do chase down artist just to get it, and then brick wall. You could do that, or you could do box. Me personally, I like doing box. You could put brick wall there if you're someone that sets a lot of picks or whatever. But me personally, I feel like I really like what box brings to the table. It makes getting rebounds and things better. So it just works with, it works with these, them rebounding badges. And, but yeah, so pretty much you're going to have box, clamps, hustler, interceptor, intimidator, rebound chaser, and rim protector on Hall of Fame, or gold, I should say, with chase down artists on bronze. And guys, there you have it. I feel like that's a really good Bob McAdoo build. I don't really have a whole lot to say about, Bob McAdoo as a player, because like I said, I didn't really, I wasn't watching basketball at that time. That was actually before my time. But guys, from everything that I've watched on him, he seems like he was just he would be a really good center in today's NBA, right? Because in today's NBA, stretch fours and centers are, every team wants them. So I feel like, not only is he a legend, but, and he's also, someone that, is underrated. But he's also someone that was ahead of his time. That's three things that with this channel I always try to focus on, right? I've done a lot of different builds, like, I've said Mark Price and things like that, and they were ahead of their time. And this guy, he really checks like all of those boxes. He was a legend of the game. He's underrated, and he was ahead of his time, guys. So I really feel like if Bob McAdoo was in today's NBA, guys, he would really, really thrive. And he would have unreal numbers because he was just a really, really good player. And it would just be, if you've never watched his highlights, guys, I would definitely say, go and watch his highlights, because like I said, he's a really good shooter for, to be a big man and a center at that time. Shooting like that wasn't really, like sometime ahead you had Sigma, but again, it's one of those things like he was just ahead of his time, guys. And so if you've never watched him, guys, I would definitely say go watch him. Go watch those highlights. Because he was a really solid player. But with that being said, guys, if this is the content that you enjoy, I would greatly appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, posterize that like button. That would help me out a great deal. And have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Have a good one.